Hi, babe. Welcome to the Horror Babe Show. I'm your host, Chelsea Beller. I recently watched two foreign horror films on Shudder that left me speechless. So I figured let's do a Shudder Double Feature. First, let's talk about You'll Never Find Me, a 2023 Australian horror mystery film. It was released in the US on March 22nd of this year, so very recently. This film almost exclusively takes place in a trailer park on a dark and stormy night. We're introduced to a man who lives alone in an old mobile home. He's clearly distracted. He's looking toward the back of his mobile home where we're assuming his bedroom is. Then there's a knock at the door. Who could it be? Who would be knocking in a crazy storm? He starts to tell the person to fuck off. But then he eventually lets them in. It's a young woman. She's soaked through to the bone because of the storm, and he wants to help her, so he lets her in. He offers to help her out in some of the sketchiest ways possible. He says, "Why don't you take off your shirt and put it on the heater?" Sketch. He suggests she take a shower. Sus. It's hard because you're not sure what's going to happen. You don't know who the antagonist is yet. So I was giving him the benefit of the doubt. Probably sealing my fate here if I'm ever in a situation like this. It turns out he is her worst nightmare. He has been carrying around this small vial of this clear liquid in his pocket that he occasionally takes out of his pocket and considers it. Finally, the young woman finds her way to the back of the mobile home because she's curious what's back there, and discovers a young dead woman. Obviously, he killed her, and now he's gonna kill this young woman. So he does. The twist is, however, he already killed her. She's actually his first kill. So it's unclear if he was just dreaming about this or hallucinating her, imagining her, who knows? But this all happens, and then he imagines all of his other victims, all young women, seemingly back from the dead in various states of having been murdered, and they're now coming after him, taunting him, torturing him. And this leads to him drinking that vial, and he kills himself. And that's the end of the film. This film was incredibly well done. The cinematography was fantastic. There were some artistic freedoms, I like to call them, with the cinematography that I thought were exquisitely done and not overly done. Artistic freedoms being long cutaways, long blackouts, things like tilted camera angles, stuff like that. I appreciate those artistic freedoms occasionally sprinkled through a film, and not overly done or underdone. So this was exceptional. My whole body was tense the entire time. The suspense was killing me. I didn't know what was going to happen. That the sound was actually brilliant because you just hear the storm the entire time, and it is just thundering outside, and it just puts you in this constant state of tension and stress. I felt the most amount of relief when he finally dies at the end. Here's my butt. Not my actual butt, my BUT. I thought it was an incredible film, but it wasn't my cup of tea. And I don't want to step on anyone's I don't want to step on anyone's toes with this film. It was brilliantly brilliantly done, and I'm not disputing that at all. I just don't think it was for me. It was a little too, this could happen to you, kind of film. I like my horror films to be just a little out of reach, just beyond the realm of possibility. Guy in mask with knife, giant mythological creature in the woods, creepy old couple in the middle of nowhere, stuff like that. Now, maybe I'll watch this at another time and I'll feel completely differently, but right now it just didn't suit me. I have anxiety and I listen to true crime podcasts for a reason. I'm a woman. I'm a woman. I live in Los Angeles, which is already a crime-filled city. Like, this could happen to me. This could happen to anyone. This could happen to any woman living alone or just traveling alone. It could literally happen. I could take a wrong turn and end up in a box in the river. Do you see where I'm coming from? Plus, that being the subject about women being sexually assaulted and murdered by this old creepy man, something that actually happens, that story being told by men and from a man's perspective just doesn't jive with me. So, would I say I liked it? No. Did I cry? Yeah. Would I say it was a well done film? Absolutely. So you should watch it if you haven't watched it already. Tell me what you think of it. Tell me if it jived with you or not. And I'm using the word jive, and I'm sticking with it. Now, let's move on to When Evil Lurks, a 2023 Spanish horror suspense film. It was released October 27th of last year. I have seen so many people post about this movie. It has been on so many must-watch lists. I had to watch it. I had no idea what I was in for. Oh my God. So, two brothers living on a ranch, kind of in the middle of nowhere, hear gunshots in the middle of the night and they go and investigate, only to find their neighbors, a mother and her two sons. But the eldest son has become what they refer to as the Rotten. If you remember Gluttony from the movie Seven, Rotten looks a lot like that. Just imagine more sores and boils and pus. Sorry for using that word. God, I hate that word. But yeah, ugh. Exactly what you would imagine a rotten to look like. The brothers believe he is possessed by evil and he needs to be killed or at least removed from their land. Along with another neighbor, they move the Rotten into a pickup truck bed and drive him really far away. But unbeknownst to them, he slides off the truck bed. So by the time they figure this out, they figure they're far enough away, it's fine, and they drive back home. Now, there are rules associated with this evil. 1, do not use electric lights. 2, stay away from animals. 3, do them no harm. 4, take nothing close to them. 5, never say the devil's name. 6, never use a firearm. 7, do not fear death. But like, we all fear death, I think, to an extent. Most of us do, right? So, all right, that's one rule broken. Of course, all the rules are broken at some point, and that just causes the evil to hop from one person to another, just leaving chaos in its wake. A dog bites a child's face. A husband runs over his wife. A mother eats her son's brain. Ugh. So many god-awful things that honestly still make me sick just thinking about them. Just seeing the Rotten at first, I had to take a walk, honestly. Finally, they find the Rotten at a school, And they also find a bunch of kids at night at this school just sitting there. So weird, so creepy. Apparently, they're protecting the rotten because evil loves children. A quote from the movie. One of the brothers injures the rotten by smashing its head in, and then they go home. But not before all these children gleefully frolic into the pasture by this schoolhouse, and the sunlight is just cascading over them. Nice, isn't it? The brothers return home and cry out in despair. The end. The end. I felt so sick and so hopeless after this movie. I had to go into the other room and watch Bob's Burgers. Like, it was so intense. I was so repulsed by everything I saw and everything I heard. It really struck with me. The mark of a good movie. This film sucks you in from the get-go. It was written and filmed sublimely. The disgusting scenes were done so well. I don't think CGI, or very minimal CGI, the effects were fantastic. They actually won an award. This film won the Dead Meat Horror Awards for Best Practical Effects, Best Kill, Best Director, and Best Original Film. Though I was ferociously repulsed and disgusted by this film, I still think it was an intense but incredible movie. Did I like it? Yes. Would I watch it again? To save myself the stomach ache, I'll pass. But thanks. I highly recommend you watch both of these films if you haven't yet. They were done so incredibly well. They're both foreign films. They're both just incredible present day films. If you have seen these movies, please let me know what you thought. What did you think of these Shudder movies? I'm dying to know. Well, that's it from me. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, follow, and subscribe to the Horror Babe Show. Follow me on Instagram and Letterboxd to see what I'm watching, what I'm rating. Bye, babe. P.S. If you like my shirt, I'm an Amazon affiliate, and you can buy this shirt with my link in bio. Thanks, babe. Hi, cat.